Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to be talking about Cardano. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel. I would like to also see people, if you wouldn't mind, check out the Telegram channel. You can find it in the description below. It would be nice to have a few more people there that are from the Cardano, or at least from the Cardano community, to help represent that project. We certainly have a lot of Bitcoin and Ethereum fans in the Telegram group, but would like to see a little bit more representation from Cardano. So hope to see you guys over there. One of the things that I want to make sure this channel is not about, right, is just I don't want to only post videos on coins when they're doing well. And of course, we don't do that with Bitcoin and we don't do that with Ethereum because those are some of the bigger coins and we cover them when the market's doing well and then when the market's not doing well. Um, because Bitcoin is the market mover and because Ethereum is number two, naturally I go to those to talk about movements in the market. But we also, Cardano is one of my hedges against Ethereum. It's not the only one, but it is one of them. And I do think that a lot of the hard work that has gone into the project over several years, I hope, certainly that it pays off. And what you see going on right now, as far as I'm concerned, and I admit that I could be wrong, I'm not clairvoyant or anything like that, is we are in probably going into a recession, and altcoins are going to face some hard times, and I think a lot of them will die out. I don't think Cardano is going to be one of them. The community of Cardano is very strong, and with the staking rewards wallet out, there's been a lot of interest in that. People are earning interest. They're earning real ADA right now by staking on the testnet, with the mainnet to come soon. Now, we've talked about this in the past where, because if you follow my channel at all, you'll know that I don't prescribe to the 4-year cycle theory. I've been pretty adamant about that over the last year. I think that it's more likely that the cycles are lengthening. So the idea is that Bitcoin is not going to peak every 4 years, but it's getting further and further out. Well, and if that is the case, then obviously altcoins like Cardano are likely going to follow suit. It's not like we could expect Cardano to see a blow off top in December 2021 if Bitcoin isn't seeing a blow off top until say August of 2023. It's just not likely to work like that. And it's going to take longer and longer each market cycle and more discipline and patience, I think, from investors to see those gains, even though those gains will be diminishing returns compared to past market cycles, and it'll take longer to realize those diminishing returns. It's just the cold hard truth. It doesn't mean you won't necessarily make a lot of money. It just means that the volatility on the macro scale is likely going to continue decreasing. Now, clearly, we can have days where we lose 50%. We saw that just the other day. But on the macro scale, we would expect things to calm down over time. So the move that we just saw, so we're looking at Cardano US versus US dollar. The move we just saw was obviously not one we wanted to see. We were hoping that Bitcoin would hold the 20-week moving average. It did not. When it doesn't, Bitcoin dominance typically goes up while the price of Bitcoin falls. And when that happens, you'll see altcoin positions typically take a nosedive. And again, if that's happened here. And some of you probably don't watch the other videos I make, but if you are interested, I publish videos almost daily talking about this stuff. So please subscribe to the channel if you wanna get updates about that. But you can see that our current prices are basically where we started back in 2017, and I remember people really wanting to get in this region when the price was over here. But now that we're back there, it's not necessarily it's not so much for a lot of people because of the fear in the market. And I would like to say that while prices are incredibly low, you face two options really. And one is we're going to be in an extended recession that has been with the catalyst being COVID-19, which is basically bringing the world economy to a halt. And if that's the case, then I wouldn't expect Cardano necessarily to shoot up in the short term. It's when people are worried how they're gonna pay their rent and stuff, thinking about what their staking rewards are on a testnet wallet just probably isn't going to be at the forefront of their mind. But at the same time, that doesn't mean it's necessarily a terrible macro level investment. If your plan is to buy and then hold out for say several years until we see another full market cycle, which again, if you follow my channel, it's likely not going to happen for another 3 years or so. So if you have that mentality, then now there is a decent risk reward ratio on that because we are basically at an all-time low. I think I'd say the risk reward ratio is a lot lower than it almost ever has been. With that said, if you do have that mindset, you obviously have to be prepared that it's not going to work out and that the price could go lower. And it's not hard to imagine the price going lower if traditional markets keep tanking and Bitcoin, if Bitcoin were to go down to say the 300-week moving average. It's already dropped below the 200-week. But if it were to drop down to 300-week moving average, which is around $3,800 or so, that's where the wick went the first time. So if that were to happen, then Cardano is clearly going to go below 2.5 cents, and there's just no way around it. At the same time, if over the next few months governments can somehow overcome the effects of the virus and we are able to move past it and economies are able to get back on track. Now, I think that'll be a long-term thing. I don't think that, clearly it's not going to happen in the next few weeks. But you must also remember that in markets, maximum panic does not always equal, the lowest price. Because investors, a lot of large investors, institutional investors, whoever it might be, they're obviously pricing things in as they either anticipate the news or they hear the news or they're tracking the numbers on the growth of exponential cases with coronavirus, which we also cover on the channel, so you guys can go check that out. So if that's going on, then it's obviously possible that over the next year or so, looking back at 2.5 cents ADA could look like a good deal. Now, the idea here, right, is that you can't beat yourself up over the fact that if you do buy now, it could drop lower, and at that point, you either have to say, I'm already exposed enough in ADA, or I'm going to invest more. So I guess, really the point is if you're okay essentially investing in this region or wherever that exact amount might fall, if you're looking out on the macro picture and you really do believe in Cardano and you want it to be one of your horses that you're betting on in this nebulous cryptocurrency race, then getting in at prices that we saw back in 2017 is obviously a decent risk reward metric, and you'll just have to establish for yourself if that's something that you can tolerate. And if you actually look at Cardano Bitcoin, it's actually doesn't even look that bad, to be completely honest. I mean, we've been at around this level since August of 2019, and so with respect to Bitcoin, Cardano hasn't really changed that much. The value of ADA with respect to Bitcoin has more or less just been in this window, whereas there are a lot of altcoins that have lost tremendous value against Bitcoin over the last year or two. So I want you to consider that as well, because what I would argue is that Cardano and ADA, we're just waiting for a bull market. And in order for that to happen, Bitcoin is the market mover, and we're waiting for Bitcoin to take off. And until that happens, we're going to be stuck in limbo, trading at these incredibly low prices, and until Bitcoin starts showing strength in the market and the world economy starts getting back on track. So again, I think this is probably going to be one of the biggest financial events of our lifetimes. and a lot of money is going to be made, a lot of money is going to be lost during this time. It's just a matter of who is able to make the right choices and put their money on the right, whether it's cryptocurrency, stocks, index funds, whatever it might be. But this is where I think a lot of money is going to be made, and so this time is I would say very important, and you should spend a lot of time researching and trying to figure out how you're going to manage your money during this time, whether it's putting money into crypto, into Cardano, or something else. So again, Cardano is basically where it has been for a while with respect to Bitcoin. Obviously, with respect to USD, it's back to 2017 levels. We've seen many cryptocurrencies in cycles past recover from the same thing, and Cardano has actually held up fairly well compared to other cryptocurrencies. So if you guys like this content, please subscribe to the channel. We do try to keep a level head, and that way, if further down the road, we do see prices start to pick back up again, we were here when they were low, and we're not just going to pretend like we said it from the beginning. We're going to say, okay, we were here when the prices were low. We made the investment when it didn't look great, but then in 3 or 4 years, if the cryptocurrency market does go through another blow off top, there's going to be the dumb money coming in saying, I wish I could have bought Cardano at 2 cents. So, all right, guys, that'll wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.